What's up, everybody? Um, Actually, first off, I want to show the room I'm in really quickly as a demonstration. Oh, let me just. So, this is the Oberlin Bassoon Studio. That up there is a bassoon mobile. It's kind of turned the wrong way. Let's see. Windows, it's all the extra junk over there. It's all the mess and projects. So, posters. Here's the big plexiglass COVID barrier. So anyways, that's the bassoon studio. Okay. So anyway, today I've got 3 reads and I'm sort of just doing a final look at how you can test something before you perform on it or take an audition on it or whatever. I mean, this is so obvious, but I tend to overlook this in my own practice. I'll get obsessed with one note. I'll say, okay, I'm playing an audition. I need Mozart concerto. I need the first B flat to be good, or I'm playing something with Tchaikovsky 6 and I need the low notes to be good. But I tend to forget to just play some scales with a tuner, full range, and see if the read is good or not. I need a metronome too, so let's do this. So I don't I don't love the sound of this read, but it's playing okay so far. Let's see if it plays in time and in tune. Not great. Also doesn't sound good. Like certain notes stick out a lot, like that F sharp. Okay, so this read is, I mean, it kind of plays a little bit. Plays decently well, but it's just not, the sound isn't really very good. And yet it plays a little flat, so I don't think I can scrape it more without making that worse. But it's playable, kind of plays the scale, kind of has dynamics, it mostly plays in tune. Sound isn't great, but it's not terrible. This to me is like a practice read. So actually, I'm not even going to scrape it. It's just going to be labeled as a practice read, and I'm going to go on to the next one. But often what I find in my students' reads and my own reads, I'll get to day 5, 6, whatever, and if I play this, it won't respond in the low register. Or it'll be, 10 cents sharp. Or it'll only respond sharp, and so when I play it in tune, it doesn't respond. So just make sure you test this sort of simple scale. I'm not asking to play extremely soft. I'm never going to play Tchaikovsky 6 on that read, but, I need to just be able to play the whole range of the bassoon and not miss too many notes. On that one, I'm missing more than I would like to miss. Okay, let's try this other one. That one, let's see. This one I have labeled pretty good question mark. The tip looks really open, and the sides of the tip opening look very open. Let's see if I can show you that. So you see how the sides over here are quite open? It's not ideal. I'm missing like 2 out of 10 at least. If I try the scale, oops, I'm on the wrong mic. Oh, no. Wrong. Okay, so this is a reed. You see how where it responds better, it's sharp, it doesn't respond. It's not hard to make it respond, so that's deceiving. It feels like it responds. I mean, it's not, I don't know, but when I play 10 low Bs in a row, trying to play in tune, I miss 3 or 4 of them. It doesn't respond. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the reed that I often trick myself into thinking is finished, and I think it responds, but it doesn't respond. Response means you play 10 low Bs in a row and you get all 10 of them. That's it. It's not, I'm not trying to play a pianissimo, I'm trying to play a mezzo piano. So, like, the reed has to do that. It's non-negotiable. It's not like I need to practice more. Yeah, I didn't warm up. Yeah, I didn't do anything yet today. The reed doesn't do enough. Okay, so let's go look at it. All right. So my theory on this reed actually is that it's actually probably the reason it kind of responds, or it's not too heavy. Maybe that's not the right way to do it. It's the right way to say it. It's just, it just kind of responds, but it doesn't get all the notes out. For some reason, I think the back is too heavy. So the tip is good, and it feels like it responds because the tip is good. But actually, the resistance isn't right, something like that. Even though the initiation of the note is fine. The other thing that could be causing that in the low register is this weird tip opening. Can I do it? You can do it, buddy. Come on, you can do it. Oh, you see it? It gets it, and then it doesn't know what to do with it. You can do it, buddy. Focus. There you go. It's not. Come on. Anyway, what I'm trying to show you here is that these sides are quite open. That makes me think that we don't really have the sides of the reed correct yet. There's not enough diamondy. Wow, this really won't focus today, will it? Oh, that's maybe part of the reason why. Here we go. Let me fix this camera. No, not Siri. Wide angle camera. This is the problem, I think. Okay. Yeah, that was the problem. I couldn't decide which camera to use. Alright, so to me what I see with this tip opening is actually the corners look good. Over here looks good. it's this channel area that's too arched and too open. So right on either side of the spine, the tip to me has too much strength. So let's look at the channels and see if it doesn't taper. Some strength in here. That could also explain why the reed was just feeling a little bit too hard. So being a little bit too hard could be the back, or it could be the outer spine. So what I'm asking myself is the thickness from this center line down to here, does that actually taper? The answer, I'm guessing, is no. This is in essence similar to scraping the back, right? Scraping the middle and scraping the back are similar. I'm scraping, I'd say, in the middle half of the reed. You could call it the inner channels or the outer spine. There's just, I think, too much cane there, causing the tip to be too open rather than diamondy. And that's causing the low notes to not respond, even though otherwise the reed feels like the response is pretty good. Tip's still really open, I might close it down. But at least you see now the taper starts to curve down in here. Before, this was completely arched. So it's a little better now in there, rather than being weak out here and strong in the channels. Now it's just more balanced. Oops. Better, not great. So if I pull the air back into my throat, the pitch is in tune, pitch comes down, but it doesn't respond back there. So what's the pitch when the air is forward where it actually responds? The pitch is sharp. All right, so there's still some problem with it, right? Like, This again is the read that is very tempting to say, oh, it's a good read. Response, you know? No, it doesn't. It yeah. Now the other thing is we work on it like when I worked in the back and the fact that we worked in the outside of the center, both of those made it less hard. So when it's less hard and you pull the air back in your throat, it will respond better if the read is less hard. If the read's really hard, you're going to have to blow the air really in your mouth. So if you want to play with very light air that's down in your throat, sort of the supporty air, the reed needs to be really free-blowing and not too strong. This reed is still too strong. So when I lean in with my air, because that's what the reed requires, the pitch is too high. So either I need to weaken it or I need to make it more responsive so that I don't have to lean in as much with the air. It's not even either or, actually. They're kind of all related. So I'm going to look again in the middle of the reed and in the back of the reed to both make it lighter and make it more responsive. The other thing I'm considering is closing it down a little bit. Rather than here, if it could be there, that could be good. But I think what I really need to do is just get more. See this collapsing corner? I need more of that in the middle of the reed. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Actually, I'm going to check the dial before we go on. Because maybe all of this is just somewhere being too thick. That's thick. Thick. I'm going in eighth increments. This is the third eighth. This is the critical point where many people set up their profiler. A lot of profilers have two tapers. That's the point at which they do two tapers. And again, that point was about where I want it. It's a little thick. That's pretty good, actually. Back's about 34, 35. That's pretty good, but could be lower. Where was that spot? Actually, it was about here. That was too. Okay. Same thing. Where the profiler, sort of the focal point of the profiler, the point at which I know is the thinnest point from the profiler, is basically good. Rest of the reed's a little thick. I don't believe that measurement, but perhaps it is correct. Maybe inaccurate. 35, 36, something in there. All right. So basically what that told me was I've got little to do here. Definitely can do some here, here. And that's good because especially that stuff at the tip, whoops, because that's going to allow me to make the channels better. It's good to just be aware that every reed style has some degree of channel work. Maybe your profiler does it for you, but this needs to be thicker than this thicker than this. So this whole channel area needs to be thinner than the middle. On my reed it is, but you know, what ratio is correct for you? That's the question. Now with the dial, I only measured that pencil line down the middle, but I can use the fact that I had room in the middle to work on the rest of it. So I erased the pencil line, but most of the work that I did was out here, sort of in the outer channel, outer spine, inner channel. Let's just do that. I could work back here, but it's just going to conflate the results I get. I just want to see what happens if I do this work. Now, one reason I was reluctant to do this was the read for my preference was already a bit bright. So this is only going to make it brighter, but you know, if it doesn't work, you're not even asking the question bright or dark yet. I mean, I can't even get the notes out in a scale. So yeah, this is going to make it too bright for me, but for my preference, but at least it might play. I don't have anything to lose if, you know, by making it brighter, because there's not a read yet. Is that better or worse? I guess that's better. All right, let's see what that did. Oh, I forgot to post the poll. Why are you having trouble playing back my video? I changed it, Facebook. Okay. All right. Let's see how it plays. All right. If you play 17 low Bs in a row in tune, how many do you get? You should get every single one. Mezzo piano, it's not that extreme. So the reed still resists me in some way. I could close the tip. Let's do that just for an experiment. It's not the right thing, but let's just do it for an experiment. Okay. Well, barely close the tip, but so in a way that fixed it, but now I didn't have any dynamics. The sound was sort of smaller. The reed opening, it's just too small. So I need to fix it in a better way. So I'm going to put the wire back, opening the first wire again. Now it's going to be back to 2 resistant, but I'm going to get the tip to close down from where I scrape it. Alright, so, you know, the tip opening, there's just not enough taper off of the center line down into the channels. Goes down a bit, but not enough. So then the tip opening is not very diamondy. And I think it's also a little bit too hard because the back of the reed is too heavy. Kind of feels like the front third or the front sixth starts vibrating, like in front of here, and then the reed is too resistant and it stops vibrating. You hear some of the notes kind of, they almost come out, but then they're a little bit ghosted. I think that's a result of that. There being too much resistance in the back half of the reed. Try to make sure everything flows down from this point down to the rail. Yeah, the channels are very robust. Now again, this is a very specific reed style for this bassoon, which is very free blowing and open. Paradoxically, it doesn't work well with resistant reeds. It needs to be free enough that I don't have to blow hard. When I blow hard on this bassoon, it's sharp. So the only option is to have a reed that's really free blowing. I'm working a lot in here so that this point goes down to there, this point goes down to there. So, you know, I'm working on this taper by scraping in here. That brings this down to there. This taper is achieved by working in here. When I get it at the side like this, I really start to see yeah. It's quite thick out here. It's not a lot of taper from here to there. So I'm increasing it. Okay. All right, let's see what that did. So we worked in the back and we worked in the rail, in the channel and part of the rail. Kind of massaging it, trying to get the tip to close a little bit. It just doesn't work. I'm going to try to open it, making it more resistant, but anyway, the point of this video really is to figure out reads like this, that it's just not a great read. It's okay, it kind of responds, but it just doesn't play in tune and respond, right? So when people talk about one or the other, they're really talking about both. Any reed responds at some pitch, and any reed plays in tune with some level of response, but it's the combination of the two that really makes it difficult to attain. And that's why it's a simple reed test, right? Just can you play a scale in tune, mezzo piano to forte. But it's amazing how many reeds I'll trick myself into thinking are pretty good, or they do respond, or they do play in tune, and actually they don't do either. Because both imply the other. Response means at pitch. This reed responds 10 cents sharp, okay. So it's deceptive. You think, oh, it responds. And then you think, oh, it's only the pitch. That's the problem. Pitch means it responds. If you play 4 beats of 4 notes, 16 out of 16 come out at the pitch level that's in tune. That's what in tune means. In tune means that it responds. Response means that it plays in tune. So they're not separate. So it's just not a great read. I'm going to keep working on it, but anyway, that's sort of the idea I want to talk about today. Something I often neglect, and something we all can work on in our reads, I think. So if anyone is watching, Facebook has completely frozen. I don't even know if I'm live, but thanks for watching, and I'll perhaps see you next Friday.